Okay, social club, and we're going to talk Everton, stroke Man City, predominantly Joe Hart. Head.
Do we have to?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. Joe Hart, I mean, everyone's been making a big deal about the fact that he didn't start Man City's first game, which could mean he's off, because that's the kind of way that we
Has he not been told he has to leave? That's what I heard, no?
Maybe, who knows. The point is he's being linked with Everton at the moment. Stecklenburg made his debut at the weekend. Very, very good performance from him.
Huge saves,
Do Everton need another goalkeeper?
Yes. I think Joe Hart will be an Everton player by the end of the month. Firmly believe that. We talked about this last week on the show, me and Baz. We both said the same thing. It's very strange that Everton didn't go for a number one goalkeeper. When we brought Stecklenburg in, it was viewed as a backup goalkeeper or just a short-term thing. You know, someone he knew as well, spy in the camp, that kind of thing. But it was strange that he never went for a goalkeeper, and that's when the idea of maybe there was someone out there already,
Schmeichel?
Schmeichel linked himself with us. We get a big fat contract, which most players seem to be doing nowadays. Want a new contract? Yes, going to Everton. And I just think that the way it's been done is that there's always been these rumours that City were looking to replace Hart, that they weren't happy with him, and it looks like they are. And I just think the sensible thing, there's talk now that Everton are going to try and get him on loan with a view to a long-term deal, which would make sense again for all parties. I think Joe Hart, I'm led to believe, isn't against the idea of moving to Everton either. A lot of his family are Evertonians as well. Actually, we should have signed him when he was like 18 before he went to City. I think it'll happen.
A lot of Everton fans in Shrewsbury.
There is, because it's right next to Wales. So I do think it will happen, and I think it will suit all parties. And unfortunately, if Joe Hart does sign for Everton, he will immediately not be England's number one. He won't. That's just the way things.
Is that at the risk of being condescending to
You
to
be
Everton?
condescending all you want.
That's the risk.
The risk of being condescending.
Is that a sign of how, look, Joe Hart, for whatever one might say about him, he is a very good goalkeeper. He is England's number one. Is that a sign of where Everton have taken a step up in terms of the players they're targeting and able to attract with the new owners and Koeman and charge?
I think Ronald Koeman is a great attraction. So that's number one, regardless of who the club is. No disrespect to Everton, but I think Koeman is a fantastic manager, and I think they would go and play for him, not just the club. I think they'll go far. Like I said in one of the other questions beforehand, I think Everton will finish top four. I think they'll be there or thereabouts. I fancy them to go far.
Shot.
Why? Well,
because there's
why?
loads of teams better than Everton.
Let's be serious. What have they got to do? They had to fix their centre half. They got Ashley Williams in. They've got to fix their goalkeeper, because Tim Hard was atrocious, wasn't he? Let's be honest about it. They got Stecklenburg, who looks to be. Oh, you loved him, mate. You were best mates, weren't you?
Best mates.
But they seem to have done that, regardless whether it's Stecklenburg or Joe Hart, provided they can keep hold of Lukaku.
Or get someone else.
But he's injured at the minute, isn't he? And who's going to buy an injured player? So we'll see what happens there. I think Everton will do well. I think Koeman plays good football.
I don't think he's going to want to move now. Paul Pogba's living up here. Paul Pogba, he's busy, isn't he? They were out on Friday night together, Snapchatting it.
I text Baz and said from my fancy team, he's like, "Lukaku going to play?" He's like, "Well, he was out on the lash with Pogba, so probably not." Great sound, binned off out my team. Fantastic.
It's you can understand. I think it makes perfect sense for someone like Hart, because he wouldn't have to move or anything like that. I think that gives us a 50-50 chance of buying most players. Is that how you end up with
so many players from United?
It is, and I've got no issue with that. It's why I think there's a 50-50 chance we're going to get Mate, because the players don't have to move. Yeah. They go into another Premier League team. They're going to be paid really, really well. And I do think Koeman is building something. I'm not as optimistic about where we're going to finish, but for an hour on Saturday, I thought we were absolutely brilliant. The work rate and the tempo we played at and the pressing hasn't been seen as good as for a long time.
The thing is, though, you're organised at the back now. Koeman organised.
We looked organised. And what was even funnier was, not that it was good, but we dropped off at exactly the point that Koeman said we were going to drop off at. He said, these are only 70% ready for this game. They're not fit enough yet. He's had a bit of a moan about how the pre-season was arranged, and very much what Martinez had done, and said these players are just not fit enough. And we dropped off at exactly the time. So it was a hard last half an hour of the game, which when you're playing one of the fittest teams in Spurs, you know that's going to be the case. But you can see the difference in some of our players. And even he had them in training yesterday, Sunday, give them today off. And he's even been saying, well, yeah, they did play well, but they're just not fit enough, and they're not going to get fit enough for a few weeks. So I'm encouraged by that, and the types of players, you know, whether someone like Balassi coming in, yes, I think he's hit and miss. I think his goal return is abysmal for the kind of player he is.
Is that because of the manager or because of the way he's been managed? Sorry,
well, that's what you don't know. I'll always give a player a chance, whether they've looked good or bad. You've always got to let them bed in, but it's how he wants to use them. There was times in that game towards the end where we were stuck in and we just needed that bit of pace on the break. And let's be fair, Aruna Kone, if he was a horse, he would be glue by now. So, you know, if you bring him on, he's not going to give you that. But someone like Balassi will. And I still think there's going to be 3 or 4 more signings to come in. So I think this 17 will look so much different after the window closes. And I just think I think the fans from Saturday, what they've took is that it looks like everyone's buying into them, because if they don't buy into them, they'll just be out the door.
What's the point? Yeah. Joe Hart, just getting back to it. If ultimately if he loses the England #1 jersey, that means he's on the sliding scale to being the next QPR goalkeeper after Everton.
We'd take him. We'd have him definitely. Alex Smith, you can go. I think it seems like a clear message by Guardiola. I guess the other way you can spin it is going, he needs a bit more time to get used to using his feet now. I don't believe that. I think you wouldn't have picked your Willie over your Heart if you wanted.
Drop it in there.
I'd say, because he's rubbish, Willie Caballero. He is. So he obviously doesn't want him. And then so for Hart, unless he goes abroad in the Premier League, there's only 2 options, I think, for him to go. It's either you or
I actually do think Liverpool could come in for him. I do think that's a possibility as well.
I just don't think that anyone would take Mignolet off us. That's the problem.
You don't have to get rid of Mignolet to bring Hart in.
Well, we do, because we'd have 3 first-team goalkeepers.
So what you do is drop one of them. It's not a big deal.
All right,
to play with a better
Moneybags
goalkeeper.
United, where you can afford to just stick players.
Would you want it?
He's like, Joe Hart, look, it's hard because the Loris Karius who we brought in looks really good, but I've only seen him in pre-season. He's broken his hand. He's going to miss the rest of this month.
I seen him driving his car last week. Can't be that bad.
He's gorgeous, mate.
He was driving like this, though.
His phone in the crook of his neck as well. I think it wouldn't be as much of an issue because he'd have started the game against Arsenal and we'd have seen a better judgment of what he is. I think we could do it. I think Joe Hart a better goalkeeper than Simon Mignolet. But I think ultimately it's one of those, not mutually exclusive. So to say, I could say Liverpool need a left back as a priority. Just because we make that a priority doesn't mean we can't go and sign a better backup goalkeeper or first choice goalkeeper. I just think we've bought Karius as our first choice. I don't think you buy Joe Hart unless you make him your first choice goalkeeper.
Yeah. What I would say about Joe Hart is he's definitely going to lose his #1 England place if he's not playing.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to go somewhere. And I've seen something about Seville looking for him. Would he really be that arse?
Seville, really?
Seville at this stage of his
He'd
career.
stay here, wouldn't
It would make perfect sense for him. And as I say, this has been a rumour knocking around for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly it's caught fire because Joe Hart wasn't playing. Yeah. And it just seems to all make sense. And sometimes that's just the way it is in football. You hear these rumours and they just come true very quickly.
Curry was a bit of a tool, isn't he? He's made examples out of people at the previous clubs
That's
he's been
boss.
at as well.
That's style of management, though.
Why?
Klopp's done exactly the same thing. Koeman's done exactly the same thing with us. He's just seen half a dozen players who he thinks are shite and just gone, well, you're not having squad numbers for a start. And loads of people are like, oh, you can't do that. So, well, why fucking can't he? He doesn't want them.
Isn't that shite though? He's still one of the best goalkeepers in the Premiership.
But he doesn't want him. He doesn't want him, and he doesn't want him stinking the place up as his #2 either. He wants him just out. And surely if you're a professional footballer, or any professional sportsman.
If I was in Hart's position, I would go, okay, who's next? I would move on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it fair what's being done to him. But I agree with what you're saying.
What if he sat him down in a nice room with nice pastel colours on the walls and a nice drink?
No, what he did was publicly made a fool out of him beforehand. But that's what he did.
Well, maybe he told him, though, that he wasn't playing. What was he going to do? Have a press conference to say Joe Hart's not playing today?
He doesn't need a press conference. He can move on before that, you know.
Should we get off, James? I think these could handle this.
No, I don't know.
No, I
do agree with you.
I think sportsmen like to know where they are, where they stand, and I think he showed them where he stands. He stands about 27 miles down the fucking road at Goodison Park. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, so there you go. Let us know, do you think Joe Hart would be a good fit for Everton Football Club? And if not, where do you think he would fit in better? Should he stay within the Premier League, or could he get a move abroad? And if so, again, what kind of club would that be? Do you think Fraser Forster will be sat around rubbing his hands at him going to Everton, because that
If
would
he
be
rubbed his hands together, you'd have to watch for fires. Fucking
Sonic booms happening, like, yeah. So yeah, if you haven't watched any of the Social Club clips this week, do. The Arsenal chat was splendid. Also,
We miss you,
about
Robbie.
the Charlton stuff is just mind-boggling. If you haven't watched that, I do highly recommend that one, even though, you know, a lot of people obviously come for the Premier League chat. There's some fascinating stuff happening outside of the Premier League, apparently.
You come for Hull, you stay for Charlton.
Come for Hull, you stay for Charlton, yeah. Hull chat and Charlton chat, and it's actually some of the best stuff we've done, so go and watch that. And if you haven't, of course, subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.